And talking about this Project 2025, I actually read it, and I love it.
I do too.
I love it. It's all about freedom.
It's all about.
Yeah. And so he's trying to get rid of the American system of government. And that means getting rid of a government that does anything other than serve him. And that's what Project 2025 is all about.
Yeah.
And that exists everywhere in the world, and it has never existed here before. And so I really think the bottom line here is that Trump and his movement, they are not running against Democrats. They're running against democracy.
Yeah.
They're running against the democratic process. They want to radically change the kind of system that we have, the government that we have.
Yeah.
And we're alive as American citizens in that time, and we're going to be the ones who decide if the American system of government survives or if it's taken over instead by a strongman authoritarian form.
Right. And the left lies. They accuse the other side of what they actually are doing. Okay, I'm convinced that these people, they don't know the meaning or the implication of a dictatorship or totalitarian government or even a republic like we have in America. They don't know that. All they know is that this man that they hate, detest, Trump, is winning and will possibly win the presidency again in the United States. When Trump was in office, please somebody tell me, what act of dictatorship did he perform? Please tell me. The one thing I think that they may be afraid of is what he did was when he started reducing some of the federal regulations, because leftists love big government. So if you reduce the regulations, you reduce some of the agencies, then you're going to reduce their power, because to them, government is God. So that's the only thing I can think of. But they align like they always do. They don't know what they're talking about. They're trying to twist it to accuse the other side of doing exactly what they're doing.
But they were also talking about Project 2025.
Theorizing.
So as you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen or if you've heard, but a lot of leftist media now are using, they keep talking about this Project 2025 is the end of the world. You know, this is what conservatives are going to destroy the democracy and things like this with this Project 2025. And not only do they say that, but they've also been pushing this idea of the democracy. You know, CNN pundit O'Sullivan, who is Irish, couldn't quite believe what he was hearing. He says, I've heard a lot of conspiracy theories. He was talking to Anderson Cooper in a segment. He says, I hear a lot of things out on the road, but to hear Americans, people who describe themselves as patriots, say that America is not a democracy, that stopped me in my tracks. Ann Applebaum, she's another CNN pundit, says she's a historian and writer for The Atlantic who often frets about the grave threats to democracy here and abroad, says to Anderson Cooper that this Republican talking point is just more misinformation. You were hearing people say America is not a democracy because they are people around Trump who want them to be saying that, who have planted that narrative.
I told you they're twisting it or they don't know. America is not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. What is the difference? Democracy means that the majority rules no matter what. A republic gives proportionate representation to the states, the people, so that they can have a rule or a say, regardless of the size of their state or their county or whatever you want to be, whatever entity or polity it is. That's why it's called a republic. We have representative government. Are there in some aspects, maybe in some instances where the majority does rule? Yeah, maybe like your school board, you might, something like that, local politics. But we are a constitutional republic. We are built on democratic principles, but ultimately we are not a straight democracy. This is what they want. They want a straight democracy because they want mob rule no matter what. A straight democracy means that, again, no matter what happens, as long as 51% or more says yay, well then that becomes it. And damn the other 49, as if the other 49 is not significant. These people like to twist. Again, it's very simple. Just take apart what they're saying and then see how it really applies.
And I'll break it down even lower, even to a smaller way to say it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic on which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible.
Right.
with liberty and justice for all. It's a republic.
Right.
It's right there in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Right there.
I mean, it's not that hard. But you know what, like you mentioned, they want control. And they've twisted everything to say it's the opposite when it's not. You and talking about this project 2025, I actually read it. I didn't read the whole thing, but I read a good portion of it. And I love it.
I do too.
I love it. It's all about freedom.
It's all about freedom. It's a policy paper, if you will, which every president, every administration has. It just depends on which policies you want to implement. But this is nothing more than the way to, if you will, I'm going to say envision, or maybe not even envision, but to get us back to what our government is supposed to do and not supposed to do.
And to the people.
Exactly.
Power to the people.
Exactly.
Is what it talks about. I mean, I won't go through Department of Education. It says they want to get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
It has here, when power is exercised, it should empower students, families, not government.
Thank you.
In our pluralistic society, families and students should be free to choose from a diverse set of school options and learning environments. I mean, throughout the whole project, every pillar is about freedom. These people are lying to you.
Freedom, they're lying. Let's stay on the education for a minute, because we're talking about, let's break it down for our audience. I'm not saying that you don't get it, but I want to break it down. You should be free. First of all, you should be free to choose the education for your own children, how you want them to go or be taught, number one. Number two, you should be free to use your money to pay for your children to be educated however way you want to see fit, right? Your money should not be taken from you compulsorily and made to comply every year when you file your taxes, not to mention other taxes in between, where you have to pay for someone else's child or through student loans, pay their loans off. So you can't even afford to choose where you want. And your schools are determined to you, particularly public schools, K through 12, just because of your zip code, while all of these same elites can live in other zip codes and still make you pay for their children. Come on, people. Why does that make your boat float? It should make your boat, you should turn it over, flip it over, and start going through these temples and flip like Jesus did with the whips.
We know the boat is sunk. It is sinking, and it's sunk in most of these communities that go along with this crap. Right. I mean, but every pillar I read was about freedom. Department of Agriculture, it says American farmers efficiently and safely produce food to meet the needs of individuals around the globe. Because of innovation and resilience of the nation's farmers, American agriculture is a model for the world. Farmers are allowed to operate without unnecessary government intervention. American agriculture will continue to flourish. Again, they want to remove government. They want us to have more freedom, more individuality with Americans. Exactly. I mean, the whole thing.
Talk about farming too. Go look up the Denmark. I think it's in Denmark, where the government is mandating that the farmers will have to give up their property because of the cow farts. Really, because of climate change. So these people are going to lose their properties. They are trying to do the same thing in the United States of America. It's coming here, people. We have to wake up and push back. Stop being afraid of these jokers. We pay them. They work for us, and we don't need all of them. They're on holiday today. How many of y'all still have to go to work? I mean, come on. You're paying. How many holidays does Congress get? Do all these government agencies get? When we're paying them, we're working more than 6 months out of our year to pay their salaries, and then they tell us this, basically, with everything that they come out with.
Yeah. I mean, they go into HUD. I mean, it talks about how, these government assistance programs have not helped these communities, urban communities. It's done more harm than good.
Okay, another example, KJ, with HUD. Again, our taxpayer money is taken from us, used to build whatever they call them, low-income homes or homes for what they call them, unhoused people. All of this crap. They can live in hotels. They live in hotels where we may not even be able to afford, right? And they get SNAP money for it and other welfare, if you will. But yet, then they come back and want to control control our house. They want to tell us how we can turn our heat and air, or how many stoves or gas stoves or electric stoves can we have or not have. This is the more power we give them, the more they're going to use it against us. Who else they going to use it on?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they specifically say on this HUD portion, they talk about how many of these programs have done nothing but penalize family formation in traditional two-parent marriages.
Absolutely.
It says here, fail to acknowledge that these public benefits too often have led to intergenerational poverty traps, have implicitly penalized family formation in traditional two-parent marriages.
Right.
I see nothing wrong with this. The left has been going on about this Project 2025 like this thing is a herpes.
Right.
I mean, it is nothing wrong with this. These are all very good policy initiatives.
Right.
And whether you agree with them or not, most of the pillars here are talking about getting government out of our business.
The bigger the government, the smaller the citizen. The smaller your house, the smaller your schools, the smaller your communities, the smaller your stoves are and refrigerators, the smaller our cars are. These are not the purview of government. I don't care who they think they are. Again, they work for us. People, the power belongs to us. We need more of us to start thinking and acting on this power and get these jokers out.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I encourage you all to take a look. I believe the website is Project 2025.org, I believe. Mm-hmm. It's something like that, but you can, if you do a simple search on your search engine and put it in Project 2025, it'll come up. And, I mean, it's definitely lengthy, but we are hearing, I know it's going to be coming up more and more as we get closer and closer to this election. They are going to start pushing out. I mean, they are throwing anything at the wall. I mean, we've talked about it throughout this hour, how they are trying every way they can to get people to vote for Biden.
Yep.
And it's getting ugly.
The poopeteers. Yeah. They probably might even want to throw his poop against the wall. I don't know. But we need to take our control back. Many people, when I think I tell KG this a lot, when I hear anybody, I don't care who it is, say we need more government, we need more government, I'm leery of people like that. I'm leery because most of the time they don't know what they're saying. They don't even know the implications. All they know is that they want the government to do something for them that they see other people getting the benefit of from government. Well, I say, damn it, that's my damn tax money. And I'm tired of funding everybody else's cause with my tax money.
Yeah, absolutely.